Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Advancement Center, and welcome to the world of magic and miracles, and so much more. I've been having these feelings of deja vu more often than usual, where you're sitting with someone and you feel like you've been there and you've already had this conversation. Or if it's more than one person, you feel like you were sitting there before and you snap yourself out of it because you wonder, is this a dream? Am I imagining that I've heard this conversation before? With the Matrix movie being in my last few broadcasts, there was a moment when they talked about deja vus as a rift in the Matrix where you are more than one place at the same time. So these things have been happening to me, and they go along with all the other changes that are allowing me to go further. And whatever is happening in your world, it is the same purpose to allow you to go further. Each of these broadcasts, my desire is always only to deliver a different reality, to deliver the reality that I know, a reality that says you are spirit and that steady stream of message is the foundation for everything that I have said here. Everyone is more than what we see. And every bit of suffering that we experience comes from not knowing, forgetting that you are a spirit, that you are far more than what you see. And this life in the physical world is rooted in the experience of being physical, which comes with decay of a home, decay of a car, decay of a body. But in spirit, none of those things exist. So therefore, they don't exist in the physical world. But that is the general challenge of humankind. And those of us who have chosen to remember that we're a spirit are far ahead of most of humanity. And it is our gift to give to humanity by reminding them of who they are, not with any pressure or force. Most of the reminding has to do with how you live your life, with a smile on your face, with laughter and joy in every circumstance that far surpass any words that we might say, so that someone might wonder, what have you taken on to lead your life the way you lead it? For me, everyone knows that they are spirit. It's never been hidden. And it ultimately is a choice to experience yourself only as physical, or a choice to experience yourself as spirit in a physical body and in a physical world. Everyone's timing for that is their own timing, and it's perfect. And so we hold space for everyone to come to that choice themselves. It may happen on their deathbed. It may happen at any moment. And it'll be perfect, just as it was for us. There is no rules or requirements other than that everyone has a free, sovereign choice to choose how they would like to live this life. And all we can do through our own life is to show them there's another way. And to be honest, the only reason we show them there's another way is because they express suffering. If everyone in the world said, I enjoy my life, I love my life is perfect. Oh, I don't care that my car broke down. Life is perfect. Love it. I would have nothing to say, because that's all I'm saying, is that there's another way and another life. And if you choose it, whatever problems you may think you have will disappear in an instant. This place that I live has not come from working harder to get here or being more awake. It's just who I am. And it's like the 2-year-old you see playing Beethoven. He came this way. He came with that in him. And if he decides to experience being a garbage man or a painter or a roofer, then he'll choose that route. And at some point, when he says, I'm done with being a garbage man, I'm going to play concert piano, it will be available to him. And that's the same for us. All it is someone saying, I'm done with this experience that I chose to experience. I've experienced it all. I'm ready for the next thing. Because you're eternal. And there's always a next thing. And all you have to do is say, I'm done. And you'll come to that in this lifetime, or the next, or the next, or today, or tomorrow. But there's no judgment because it's your choice. If you want to experience more as a human in a physical body without the awareness of yourself as spirit, you are free to do so. And there's been many religious texts that have spoke these words to humanity and given people a reminder of the reality that we are spirit. But from those texts, religions were born, which produced rules and regulations and a system of hierarchy that made everyone conform. So the words can lead you home, but the formation of a method and a practice and a system sends you packing. That's the life of the human experience. Get a job, work your way to the top. Follow the rules, become the boss. That's what religion is. And even spiritual advancement can be cloaked in that hierarchy of you must be more awakened, higher levels of enlightenment. It's the same ladder system of hierarchy. If you just remember how long it took for you to not only know that you're a spirit, but to live your life from that place. 30 years, 40, 50, 60, and more. Then everyone you see is given that same amount of time. If you can come to acknowledge that, if everyone can, there'll be peace everywhere. Because no one is more than anyone else. We're all spirit. And we only forget that when we look at another and compare. So choose to deliver that reality that everyone is spirit like you, and give every bit of space that you yourself was given to come to that realization in yourself. Chapter 16 of this life is a hoot, and in the meantime, your brain is fucked. This chapter is titled, "This is a No Bullshit Fly Zone." Almost every bit of bullshit comes from the hilarious and absurd nature of a human being who has forgotten that they are God. Bullshit mostly rears its head when we are in that part of our head called the brain. It is there that most thoughts have been sent to marinate. These thoughts run around our brain like a rat in a maze, looking for cheese, sniffing and checking, comparing and measuring to find the golden cheese called validation. That is why most of the bullshit is expressed through our relationships and interpersonal communications. It is only when you tell someone what you were thinking or why you decided to do what you are doing that the bullshit is brought into the light. Logic reigns supreme here with all his associates, which include the aforementioned comparison and measurement. These are followed quickly by judgment, jealousy, and blame. We can only compare ourselves to ourselves if we are to compare at all. Find your own standard and only measure yourself against that standard, while never holding anyone up to the standard you have for yourself. Their standard is their standard, and yours is yours, and never the two shall meet. The only thing that is universal is kindness. And even each person's standard for how they deliver that and what they think kindness is different. This is how the word love has gotten so convoluted. But kindness is a little less complicated and still stands as a clear picture when the word is used. It has remained clear because the feeling behind that word has no competing feeling. It is free from the bullshit of the brain that the word love has fallen victim to. This is the ever challenging plight of being a human being who has forgotten that they are simply an immeasurable and infinite ball of energy that we call a spirit. We are an unfathomable, multidimensional being that can't be fully known. Just as the one energy that we call God cannot be fully known, for we are made up of the same mystery and the same power of the unknown. We each hold within us the void that is endless, limitless, and ever expanding in a place that no man can comprehend. This void has immeasurable depth, and it is a part of you. It's like going to the bottom of the deepest ocean where the unknown has its home. It is so dark there that the darkness becomes light. This is why there's always more For as you sink into the unknowable abyss of your multi-dimensional being, each few feet of descent or ascent exposes another feeling of a new unknown, another layer of something that cannot be explained, and it never, never ends. This is who we are, nameless, faceless, unknowable, and unfathomable, while at the same time having a face, having a name, seeming to be known, and seeming to be able to be measured. No one could possibly fathom the depths, complexity, and immensity of the one who bears your name. And as I express these things about the indescribable magnificence of your being, the world of bullshit and all its control disappears. It is in this place where you are beginning to feel an inkling of your incomprehensible magnificence that you enter the no bullshit fly zone. This place is the seat of your throne, the place where your awareness is so expanded that you are almost able to know everything that has ever been. Here, all tasks cease to exist, and everyone appears to be an immortal spiritual being, just as you are. No one seems more or less than anyone else, and no one appears to be lacking anything. Our Creator and the Masters and the angels have been trying to tell us about this for eons. And even now, there are those among us who continue to tell us what we are capable of and what we will do on that day in the future. We must fall so low from this place in order to be in logic, comparison, judgment, and jealousy. This is the bullshit fly zone. We've dropped down to the human altitude, having left the rarefied air of our indescribable majesty. In the meantime, those that are among us who have surpassed the bullshit, or those from the outer reaches who never had any, watch us deliver the bullshit that so easily deceives us, and then calmly say, I'm sorry, you're in the no bullshit fly zone. Please exit this airspace and return to a lower altitude where the bullshit is accepted. The first thing that we lose in this lower altitude is that ability to see others as ourselves. It's funny that in the high rarefied altitude, there is no hierarchy, but in the low bullshit fly zone, hierarchy is the ruler of it all. Where there is hierarchy, there can be no kindness, because hierarchy sows the seeds of comparison, measurement, judgment, jealousy, and fear. And instead of water, the plant that is produced from the seeds of hierarchy craves and demands validation and attention, which grows a tree full of human power and control. Conversely, where there is no hierarchy, there is only kindness. But in that place where you feel the feeling of your unknowable depth, words like kindness and love do not exist. For when you see yourself as that immortal spiritual being, you are able to see everyone else as the same, and you are naturally behaving as the expression of those words. For the words and labels have always come to describe something that has already existed without having had a name. And now you have been cleared to return to the no bullshit fly zone, climbing to 40,000 feet on your way to the outer reaches of the universe, where you can see the fullness of yourself and where kindness, simple kindness, reigns supreme. Stay at this altitude even when you return to the awareness of this physical plane, so that no bullshit enters this world through you. And beyond the bullshit that so easily deceives us, stay at this altitude so that kindness is all you ever know and all you ever deliver from now until the never ending ending. And finally, I am kindness. I spend my days in total joy. With just a simple gesture from me, all the world is changed. Many times I find myself just smiling as I go out about my day. On the day that I was created, I was told that my nature would be the natural nature of everything, that every being would have me in their heart, and if they chose to, they could always bring it forward no matter what the circumstances. A helping hand, a gentle touch, or a loving smile. But most of all, a transmission of respect and acknowledgement to put others before yourself and to give without expecting anything in return. You see, it is great to give a homeless person on the street a meal, but it is even greater to be kind to a person that doesn't return your text, who doesn't say thank you, who doesn't meet your standard of behavior, and who doesn't acknowledge you the way you think you should be acknowledged. It matters not if these things are real or imagined, for to you they are real. So the kindness that is required is of a much higher level. The homeless person did not do anything to you, so it is much easier to be kind to them, even though that level of me is to be applauded. But it's when you think someone has done something to you and you still deliver me, you have become one with that energy that created me and everything else. Let this be your desire. Let this be your goal above all things, even spiritual things. Seek me, choose me, know me, then give me away at every turn. And you will be one of the greatest masters that ever walked on earth. Knowing that all beings are equal and uniquely a part of the Creator leaves no room for any treatment that doesn't include me. It is the greatest gift you can give, and it is in its simplicity that its power is felt. No one is ever excused from not transmitting me, but all are forgiven. My cousin's compassion and empathy are always standing by to help you see them, knowing that when you don't show kindness, kindness will likely not be shown to you. And it is in that moment that you will be reminded that it was you who called this energy to yourself. And in that loving light of that realization, compassion and empathy will be learned. Then kindness, will flow out of you like a mighty river as all the dams of selfishness and judgment are removed, and I am allowed to flow through you unimpeded, just as you were designed. Your heart will be filled with joy, for you will be free, and you will spread me to every human and non-human being that enters your field, until I am the only reaction left on the planet. I am kindness. Thank you, everyone, for listening. It's an honor and a gift to be able to share these things with you. And through kindness, I give you a perfect life, perfect health, and a magic future. I am David.